All right. I think people can hear me now. Let me check OBS. I am audible. All right, sweet. Okay. Glad I got that fixed. What is this tab? Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey, what is going on, Josiah? How you living? Oh, it is good to be back. Very good. Oh man, crazy week. Pretty fun week for comics though. I got a pretty fun little haul here. Some stuff I missed over the past couple of weeks. But oh man. Yeah, sorry for not being able to stream yesterday. I just had some weird family stuff. But resolved enough to the point where I can access my computer and all this. My favorite read of the past week would definitely. Ow, shit, that hurt. You ever reach over something and hurt your not quite your armpit, but it's your it's the part under your armpit. Yeah, that's annoying. But my favorite pick of the week is definitely Superman Lost #1 by Christopher Priest. And actually, who the fuck is this? This is a dude whose art I've seen in comics before. Also, quick tidbit. I got this cover because Joe Quesada did it, and I don't care what anyone says about Joe Quesada as an editor. Artist, holy crap, his art's amazing. Literally, I would smother an adorable infant monkey, like a whole maternity ward of infant monkeys to have Joe Quesada draw anything for me. His art's that good. This is gorgeous right here. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite read of the week. I'm sure that is just a lot of that comes down to the fact that I'm a Christopher Priest simp. I don't have armpits. Hey man, that's. I mean, I want to say good, but I don't know. Armpits are pretty fun to have. Hey, what's good, Arcus? How you living? Dude, who's this? Okay, so Carlo Pagulayan. Pagulayan. I think that's Pagulayan, right? Pagulayan. Well, anyways, Carlo did a really good job on this book. The inks are also really good by Jason Paz and Jeremy Cox. It looks like a weirdly just kind of Silver Age, or I guess more cinematic Silver Age style DC comic book. It's really fun. The camera's not doing it any justice at all, but yeah, this comic was dope. I absolutely loved it. And I mean, the only thing I don't like about the way this looks is we're very clearly stuck with continuing with Gal Gadot Wonder Woman synergy. I like that movie costume well enough, but can we stop trying to make that the main Wonder Woman costume? Can she just go back to what she used to wear? I think that'd be nice. I mean, you could even update it too. That's the thing. I'm cool with updating character designs, but you don't have to make the movie designs the character designs. They're not doing that with Shazam. And thank God, because I think this new Shazam costume looks terrible. The first one looked great. This one right here, where they have all the stupid advertisements for it, looks like an MCU Shazam costume. It looks dreadful. Oh, look at that. The first, I don't know why they changed the first costume. The first costume was perfect, I thought. But I don't know. Outside of that, though, yeah, Wonder Woman's costume aside, I guess this book was fantastic. What's good, Supreme? How you living? I think I already said what's up to you, but you know, in case I didn't, what's good? But yeah, this is definitely my pick of the week. Although I also really liked Flash, the continuation of 1 Minute War. But I mean, that's just me loving Jeremy Adams' run on the Flash in general. So yeah, man, I don't know, dude. I'm gonna be like really heartbroken when that book is over. I mean, I'm optimistic for Cy Spurrier's run because I really like the Hellblazer run that they did. Out of all the recent Hellblazer runs, or I guess attempts at Hellblazer runs that we've gotten over the past decade or so, his was definitely the most that felt like classic Hellblazer. But like classic Hellblazer when it was like good. Cause I went back and reread a little bit of the last like what is it, like 20-30 issues of Hellblazer. Is that Mike Carey who ends that book? No, it's not Mike Carey. Who finishes Hellblazer? With just Sweet Chemicoli. Hellblazer. Peter Milligan. Okay, so Peter Milligan is the one who finishes off the Hellblazer run. I did not like Peter Milligan's run that well. Although generally I think the last like decade of Hellblazer is kind of like it kind of petered. Like that's like one of the sad things about the Hellblazer legacy, I guess you could say. Didn't really go out with a bang, more like a whimper. Which I guess is kind of poetic for the character, but like, I don't know, man. Just going back and reading classic Hellblazer, though, comparing it to like what we've been getting in the past like 10 years, I definitely liked it a lot more than what we've been getting, because it felt like Hellblazer instead of like the weird Diet Doctor Strange that we've been getting since like the New 52, but. In general, well, let me not speak in generalities. I don't want to fixate on Hellblazer, but you know, going back to like Cy Spurrier and the Flash, I like Cy Spurrier. I think Cy Spurrier did a great job of capturing the feel of the classic Vertigo Hellblazer universe. I haven't read much of anything else from him though, so I don't know, but. If Cy Spurrier can maintain the spirit of the Flash, the same way that they were able to maintain the spirit of Hellblazer, then you know I think we're in for something, you know, pretty interesting. You know, like I can say that, but. Yeah, man, I don't know. Jeremy Adams has done a really good job of like keeping the spirit of the DC universe alive in comics, at least through the perspective of the Flash, which is a book that I think has been troubled for a long time. Even Joshua Williamson's run, I thought, was really good, but it didn't. There was just something missing with it, I felt. And yeah, no, Jeremy Adams is the one who like really just kind of brought it all home for me. So sad that he's going, but I'm glad for the run that we got. I'm glad that I got to read this run in real time. Yeah, man. I'm excited to see how Jeremy Adams' run ends and how I almost said Peter Milligan. How Cy Spurrier's run begins. That cover looked really sweet. With the eyeballs and all that, it kind of gave me like, well, okay, my impulse was to say it kind of gave me like Don Heck vibes, but I'm not sure if that's right. Because Don Heck did like a lot of weird stuff when he drew the Flash back in like the '70s and the '80s, but maybe not Don Heck is the right person to say, but it definitely had like a weird kind of like trippy '60s kind of vibe to it. So, you know, that's me judging a book by its cover. Been reading some manga lately. A reread of Bleach and reading Chainsaw Man. Oh, dude, sweet. I really like Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is fantastic. That's like, I don't know. I feel kind of weird admitting this out loud, but like, it's just the internet. It's the place to be shameless. I've been reading a lot of like romance manga lately. That's really been my thing. But as far as like the shonen, like, well, not really shonen, but like the because I don't really consider Chainsaw Man to be like a shonen. But as far as like the like, you know, action oriented manga is concerned, Chainsaw Man's really had me hooked. I still have to read Bleach. That's one that I just haven't done it. That and One Piece. I'm gonna do it at one point in time. I will get to it, just not right now. Not right now. I just can't do it. That is a lot, especially for Bleach. Like One Piece, I'm told that is like great from the get go, and it just keeps getting better. Everyone says with Bleach, on the other hand, it gets good around the midway point, which is like chapter 1000. Oh, I guess no, chapter 500. So like, I'd have like 1,000 chapters. Chapter 500 is when it gets good. So I have to read 500 chapters for it to just get good. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No. No. You can't get me to do that. I mean, I say that now, but like, knowing myself, I will do that in the future. That is something I will do. The changing costumes all the time is because they need new merch to sell toys. I mean, that's true. That is a valid point. I just think that the current Wonder Woman costume is over designed for the comics page. Like, it works really good in a movie. It works. I think it looks really good on Gal Gadot. I like Gal Gadot. I think she looks great as Wonder Woman. I think the costume looks great on her. I think the way she moves in the costume looks fantastic. I just am sick and tired of seeing it in comic books, and I might set fire to my comics collection if I see it again. That's an exaggeration, mainly because you can't set fire to comics. New comics don't really catch fire like that. Really, it's like all in the ink. The ink is like too wet on the new paper they use. It just doesn't catch on fire. I know because my former boss, at my old comic book store, would you get like overtures for books and like have to like apparently you have to like burn them if you like couldn't return them and didn't want to have them like backstock or just couldn't sell the damn thing. So he'd like, all right, fire time, and they just the newer books just don't burn. So I guess that's like Marvel and DC trying to combat like Nazism before it happens. That's smart, I guess. But yeah, that's one way to stay immortal. Also been reading old issues of Wizard magazine. Really interesting. The early in the 90s, early 2000s. Remember when the comics themselves mattered, not just IP farms or adaptations? Dude, I'm like reading through a bunch of like really old Flash comics. I mean, I don't actually. You can't see what I'm slapping. It's one of the 4 long boxes that I have right here. But I just recently got. Well, not recently. I actually got all the Trials of the Flash issues. I got them like a couple years ago actually, but I just read them recently. Within like the past like, I want to say. I read them like a year and a half ago. But yeah, I read through all that material for the first time, and I was kind of lost with some stuff, and not a lot of it like really stuck with me because I don't honestly. I was skimming through most of it. I was skimming through most of it, so I was like, all right, well, and then it's over, and then Crisis happens. But I went back and reread through some of that stuff recently for a video that I'm working on, because do I want to grab all that right now? Yes, I do. Yeah, let me not be lazy. All right. I now have the entire run of The Flash by Mark Waid, and I got to a bit in Waid's run where Wally runs into Iris from the future. That's the whole thing. But I forgot that there's a point in time after Iris died that Barry actually got remarried. And dude, I mean, you're gonna see the video about Barry's second wife. That's the video that I'm working on right now. But yeah, it made me like go back and reread a lot of those Trials of the Flash issues. Like, okay, that's what's happening here. But yeah, dude, no, like, it's just so weird going back and reading older comics and the story happening. You know, it doesn't feel like IP management. It feels like stories unfolding. Like these, like, things are happening in these characters' lives, and they're just like they're going on adventures, and like the mythology is building upon itself with new ideas, and you know, nothing's really sacred. Sometimes it was very weird going back and reading a lot of older comics. So yeah, no, it Marvel and DC before the movies, just it's crazy to me. I mean, this is just gonna be me being like super selfish right now, but like, I'm looking at all of the reviews for like the past couple Marvel movies. I'm looking at the reviews for Shazam, Fury of the Gods. We know for a fact that Aquaman 2 is just gonna be a dumpster fire. That movie is DOA. I am actively praying for the downfall of superhero cinema. Not for it to go away completely, but like for the pop culture just like vice grip to just loosen up and just wither a little bit. Because I would really like for superhero comics, and comics in general, to get out of the pop culture zeitgeist. So all the pop culture heads and marketing heads who only really care about pop culture and marketing, instead of like storytelling and these characters like legacies, to just back off when it's no longer lucrative to pretend you care about comics and superheroes. I want them to back off so actual comic book creators can come back in and tell stories with these characters. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I want to see happen. So you just gotta watch the MCU just die in the pop culture's eyes, and the DCEU to continue flopping around like the half-dead paraplegic stillborn that never really drew breath in the first place. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I want to happen. Hellblazer dropped off after they made John a regular part of the DC universe. Yep, that I agree with that. And it's kind of weird, like Hellblazer was always technically part of the DC universe. Like John Constantine is a character in Swamp Thing. Like that, he's a Swamp Thing character. And Swamp Thing's connected to Superman, Batman, all those other characters. Like, it's not part of the DC universe. John Constantine is he plays like an integral role in the beginning of Sandman. Granted, I haven't read past the beginning of Sandman, but like he's an integral part of the beginning of Sandman. And Sandman is like part of the larger DC universe as well, because Martian Manhunter shows up in that book at one point. And I think you find out that like one of the Sandman characters is like a descendant of like one of the Hawk people, like Hawkman. So like, no, like a lot of that Vertigo stuff and Hellblazer included is a part of the DC universe. It's just when you trying to like have like just shoving John into the Justice League and having him like go on adventures with the Flash and all this other stuff. It's Dr. Fate's right there. Use Dr. Fate. Please, don't use John for that. Don't. Not a fan. Not a fan. Or Zatanna. Zatanna's right there. Zatanna's a member of the Justice League. What? I don't know. I don't understand DC's rationale behind any of that, but I'm sure that's wrapped up in their weird, like, pop culture push, which just never took off. Even though Peter Milligan's run wasn't great, it's far from the worst. Remember Brian Azzarello's run? Yeah, I do remember Brian Azzarello's run. Not a fan. Or at the very least, I'll say I wasn't a fan back then. I'm not sure how I'd feel if I went back and reread it. Granted, any reread that I have of Hellblazer now is definitely going to be colored by the post-discount Doctor Strange-ification of the character from the New 52 to now. So I'm going to be looking at that old stuff with rose-tinted glasses, even if it's bad. I'm just gonna. I know that about myself. That's what I'm going to do. I know everyone says that, like, you should always take things on their own merit and blah, 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 blah. Okay, yes, ideally you should. But in the real world, people generally don't do that. Everyone kind of reads something with, like a slant. You know, everyone kind of reads something with a bias. I'm going to read a lot of that older Hellblazer stuff, even the bad stuff, with a bias against the new stuff. So I'm probably going to, like, say some outlandish. If I ever like do a retro review of Hellblazer, I'm gonna probably say some outlandish garbage like Brian Azzarello's Hellblazer run isn't actually that bad. It's like, oh, dude, Beanie, why are you saying these things? Why are you, why are you betraying all logic and reason? Just because you don't like the newer stuff doesn't mean the old stuff is good. It's like when that Velma show dropped and everyone started saying, Be Cool Scooby-Doo is actually really good. No, it's not. No, it's not. Don't lie to yourself. Don't feed yourself fallacies. Jeremy Adams is leaving. Who mad? I'm not mad. I mean, I am mad. I'm very mad. I'm big mad. But Cy Spurrier, from what I've read of Cy Spurrier, I like Cy Spurrier, so you know, I'll go in with an open mind. I will definitely do that. On those Bleach fans, I disagree with them because Bleach is great in the beginning and then it declines after the first 2 arcs. Oh, that sucks. Although that happens with a lot of shonen manga, I'm told. I had that with Naruto. I read the first up to the tournament arc, and then I just lost interest after that. Although a lot of Naruto fans say that that's when the manga gets good, but I don't know. Like, I like the tournament stuff, and then after it, I was like, I don't care about this anymore. Like, the tournament gets interrupted, and I'm like, I'm bored. I am bored. I also think tournament arcs are boring in manga in general. I cannot stand them. For the life of me, I cannot stand them. I almost dropped My Hero Academia after the tournament arc. Or not after, like before it started, really. It's your power, Todoroki. It's like, oh Jesus, please, is this gonna be over? I fucking hate tournament arcs. Repeat after me. It's pronounced Gal Gadot. Okay, Gal Gadot. Gadot. Is that Gadot enough? Gadot. Gal Gadot. I want to see late 2000s before the New 52 Wonder Woman costume. Like, Batman and Superman's costumes changed to their classic outfits, but Wonder Woman didn't. Why? I don't know. Honestly, can I just throw this out there? This is like a hot take. I like the New 52 Wonder Woman costume. Like, I genuinely do like the New 52 Wonder Woman costume. The only change that I'd really throw out there for it is I would get rid of the silver on the belt and the what's a nice way to say this part? The breasticle plate? I don't fucking know. The bird, the titty bird. I'd make the titty bird gold, you know, just like the classic one. So titty bird and the belt are gold. I'd probably keep the boots blue though. The blue boots goes hard. The boots being blue goes hard. It goes unbelievably hard. I like that a lot. But I don't know. Outside of that, I like the New 52 Wonder Woman costume. I like the design where she's wearing pants. I thought that looked cool. The internet freaked out though. I don't get why. Dude, that was so weird. So weird. Also, that's one of those things where you wouldn't see people freak out about that today. In fact, you'd see the opposite. You'd see people going like, "You put pants on Wonder Woman? Why? I can't. This is the SJWs. They're trying to hurt my boner. I need to see Wonder Woman's legs." Like, I don't know. I don't. I thought Wonder Woman looked really cool with the pants look. Even before the 52, what was that Jim Lee costume? Where like JMS had that whole run, which was, I love JMS, but that was unreadable. That whole run was unreadable. But I genuinely like that costume with the leather jacket too. Although it looks way cooler without the leather jacket, just throwing that out there. But yeah, no, I thought Wonder Woman had a really good design with the pants, and then just everyone freaked out, so they gave her the booty shorts again. I don't know. I was Arca says I was rereading Don't Toy with Me Nagatoro-san, Way of the House Husband, and watched a few old retro OVAs. Nice. You know what OVA I've heard is really good? I've been told that the OVA for Trigun is really good. Although I'm kind of nervous to check that out, but in general, I like Trigun, so I'll check it out. I also heard that the OVA for Helsing is pretty good, but I didn't know. I watched the original Helsing. I liked it. I didn't feel the need to go back and watch the other one, but I don't know. Someone let me know if it's good. I will watch more anime. More. I'm playing. It's not the one thing I watch now outside of like Succession. When I'm not rewatching The Sopranos. Yeah, but Don't Toy with Me Nagatoro sounds pretty fun. It does have that thing where MC just gets like painfully annoying. Like I feel like there's no character progression because he just kind of gets freaked out and like says something dumb, and it's like, all right, back to status quo. And it's like, oh my god, I can't do this for another fucking how many chapters? I don't know. But it is like a really charming read though. I really like My Dress Up Darling. That's a really fun one. It's really cute. I also love watching the anime with my girlfriend. That's the problem with recent Image comics. A lot of them feel like pitches for a potential film or TV show. So even the creator-owned stuff is negatively affected. That's true. Although that is something... So the indie comic sphere is feeding off of a problem that you're seeing with books. Because that's the problem that like fiction novels have had for like a solid 30 years. None of these stories are really like... I mean, they're stories, but like they're written with the intent of, okay, how can we get a movie deal out of this? You know? That's why throughout like the 2000s and like the 2010s, you saw a string of movies that were based on, you know, the New York Times bestseller, blah blah blah. It's like a lot of those books kind of like read the same. There's comics have that on like a more dramatic scale, but I think a large part of that is because comics are a visual medium, so the incentive to have them elevated to film, because people don't actually respect comics as a medium. But you know, that's a whole can of infected cum that I just don't feel like getting into. But yeah, no, it's infecting like literary media in general, you know. This push to like have something that's intended to be adapted. Frustrating, but that's what happens when you live in an age where people don't want to read. It just kind of is what it is. Next time they show new comic book movie, don't go to it. Those are dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy. Based Batman vs Superman quote. I love that movie. It's great. That movie's fantastic. I don't even care anymore. I love it. I absolutely love it. Hey, Devia. Personally, I'm excited for Shazam Fury of the Gods. I mean, it looks fun. I'm gonna see it tomorrow. Wait. Yeah, because today's Thursday. Yeah, I'm gonna see it tomorrow on Friday. I like the first Shazam movie. I mean, as much as I want to see the downfall of like superhero cinema, I'm still excited to see Shazam. I'm still excited to see Creature Commandos by James Gunn. I'm excited for Across the Spider-Verse. Like, there's stuff that I'm excited to see. I just want pop culture to turn their back on superheroes, though. That's just what I want. I know those two things don't really mesh together, but like, look, I never set out on this podcast to make sense, because I don't make sense as a person a lot of times. So yeah, it is what it is. That's just me. I'm the walking contradiction here. Buzz Lightyear. Biases everywhere. Yeah, that Velma show was a train wreck, dude. It's a travesty. Yeah, I mean, I am like kind of mad that Jeremy Adams is leaving, but like, you know, I'm gonna give the new guy a shot. You know, I can't write it off just because old guy who I really liked is leaving. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. The truth about shonens, they don't become better, you just get more accustomed. That is a truth that I don't have the balls to share with a lot of my friends who love anime and manga way more than I do. My Hero Academia is amazing. I think it's amazing. I really like it. It is one of those things where, and I'm no longer current on that manga. I stopped reading the manga shortly after Shigaraki. No. I stopped reading the manga before Shigaraki put Deku in a coma. I stopped reading when Deku developed a new quirk. Oh man, that's so far back. Yeah, I was so far behind. So I stopped reading then, and then I just started reading the manga. Started watching the show, the anime. I've been keeping up with like the show, but like ain't no way in hell I'm gonna get caught back up on the manga. Ain't no way. I'm just gonna keep going with the show until I guess the season's over, and then I'll maybe pick up with the manga again after that. But I mean, I think My Hero Academia is ending soon. Like it really feels like it. Even the manga feels like they're winding down. But yeah, My Hero Academia is one of those weird things where like it starts off like kind of fun, but it's just like another shonen. Until it isn't. But like I don't know like how many chapters in before you like the twist happens, right? Like because I mean, for me at least, the twist that I think makes My Hero Academia very interesting is it's when we find out more about like Endeavor. So like a lot of it's like just before the tournament arc, and that's like what 30 something chapters. So I won't say like My Hero Academia gets good after like 30 chapters. Like it's good like from the get go, but like it gets interesting after a certain amount of time. But you'd have to wait for it. Even now, with like a lot of the newer stuff, where like the heroes are kind of like, well, I don't want to say allegories for like cops, because I'm not sure if Japan faces the same like kind of like cultural problem with police that we have in America, but like they're doing like a very interesting thing with like the people don't have faith in the heroes anymore, so like you have heroes just retiring in droves. You have heroes getting into fights with civilians. You have civilians like taking matters into their own hands. It's very interesting stuff that Kori Horikoshi's doing with My Hero Academia in that universe. But like, how many chapters in are we now? We're like near the end. But like, yeah, no, I like the natural like shift of it's something that's like familiar and kind of like generic until it's not. Until it's like really not. So yeah, no, I'm like really into it. A manga that I really like want to go back and reread, because I just felt like a dummy for not getting the twist or like seeing the twist before it happens, even though it's just one of those things where like in hindsight it's like, of course I'm a dumbass. But like Fullmetal Alchemist, that whole bit where you find out that like, oh, we've been following the bad guys this whole time. I felt really dumb, like really like obscenely dumb. Because I was like, wait, they call the leader of their country the Führer. Like, just how did I not put two and two together? Of course, he's the bad guy. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. But I'm really interested to see like what that manga or like how that manga reads going back to it. Arca says, I would have the new 52 costume with pants. I think it just adds a bit of her old dominatrix look, and makes her a bit tougher. I agree. That's like a thing that I think is kind of messed up, that we've kind of just eradicated from Wonder Woman's mythology altogether. Like bring back some of the weird, alternative like sexual stuff with the character. Like if we're gonna like go off the whole like Trinity archetype thing, where Batman's the crime guy, Superman's the sci-fi space alien guy, why can't Wonder Woman be the like alternative sexuality, like mystical guy? Like I don't know. That's why I really like Wonder Woman Earth 1 by Grant Morrison. Or I guess I like the idea of it before I like it itself. I'm starting to maybe realize, but I'd have to read it again. But I don't think Volume 3 works. Like, I didn't think it worked when I read it. But, like, maybe it all works, if I, like, read it all together. But, I don't know. That's also just a big problem that Earth 1 had in general. Like, I really think it was a mistake to release those comic books as movies like every 2 years. That's what really killed the Earth 1 line. I mean, I say killed, but like I think we're getting more Earth 1 books. I'm not sure. I don't know why, but for the life of me, I really thought that the Aquaman Andromeda book was supposed to be one of the Earth 1 books. Which, I mean, it could have been. I think it would have sold better if it was listed as Aquaman Earth 1. I really think it would have sold better. But... Earth 1 book have they not released yet? There hasn't been a Flash one yet. Which I don't know why. Like, that's... You'd think that'd be, like, one of the ones they put out, like, immediately, because it's Flash. But... Yeah, no, I don't know. I just want more, like, weird, off-the-cuff... Like, I guess not off-the-cuff, like, off-the-wall, like, weirdo, self-contained Flash stuff in the same way that we get, like, weirdo, self-contained stuff for, like, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Toby says, do you believe Marvel should cancel The Amazing Spider-Man because that book can't be saved? Well, I don't think they should cancel it. I think they should just, like, stop trying to focus on fixing the IP and just tell stories with the character and do stuff like that. Like, I that's what I really think Marvel should do with Spider-Man. But I do think that book's been, like, in a lull for a pretty damn egregious amount of time. But a lot of it started with the Clone Saga. Like, I firmly believe a lot of it starts with the Clone Saga, because that's the story that starts the trend of, hey, Spider-Man's broken right now, let's fix him. Like, we've just been stuck in, like, an infinite loop of Spider-Man's broken, we gotta fix him for, like, 30 years. Someone just gotta break that chain. We just gotta break that chain. I thought Chip Zdarsky broke that chain with Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. That was a fantastic book. But I guess Chip didn't want to stay on the book. I guess they just wanted to go off and write Daredevil and write one of the greatest Marvel comics being published right now. And then write Batman on top of that, which is one of the greatest DC comics being published right now. Ugh. Stupid Chip Zdarsky. Hellsing Ultimate is pretty crazy. Like, crazy in a good way, or like crazy in like a, this is cringe, why does this exist kind of way? Because I've watched a lot of OVAs that are like, this is cringe, why does this exist? I don't know if I can watch the new Trigun. First episode made me mad with all the changes. Yeah, the new animation style I mean, like, I've been told that it's, like, a good show. And the animation, like, it looks really beautiful. I just don't like it for Trigun. If I can just be that way. It's kind of like when we got, like, Ghost in the Shell. What are the newer Ghost in the Shell installments called? I don't know what the new, it was like a CG, Arise. So Ghost in the Shell Arise. When I saw the trailer for that, immediately I was like, nope. Nope. I can't do it. This looks weird. I'm not into it. I do not like this. I mean, I was told it was pretty good, but the animation just put me all the way off. And I didn't really hear anything about the show outside of the animation. Like, it kind of just seemed like another, well, this is more Ghost in the Shell, I guess. How do you feel about the the Nier Replicant anime. I haven't watched it, but I am going to add that to the list. You should definitely watch Psycho-Pass. I have watched Psycho-Pass. I've watched all of it. I love it. Psycho-Pass is like one of my favorite anime. Paranoia Agent. What that be? What that be? Oh, it looks kind of cool. Oh, it looks weird. I kind of want to watch the trailer for this. Dude, fuck it. Let's watch the trailer for it. Uh, Paranoia Agent. Shut up, YouTube. Shut up, YouTube. You're not doing what I'm telling you to do. Oh, it's like seven. Oh, these are all like 17 years old. Ooh, this is like an old series. Although, like, Wikipedia said it was like from 2004. Let me do this real quick. All right.
Let's go over this one more time.
It's golden. I heard you wore short pants and a baseball bat. Maybe a baseball bat.
No, he's a little slugger. That's right, he's a little slugger. Yeah.
I like this animation style a lot.
Maybe it's random violence. Don't jump to conclusions.
Shut up! Somebody stop me!
No matter how chaotic the crimes may look, there's always a direct cause and effect relationship.
This is trippy.
She looks kind of relieved, doesn't she? But only like someone relieved after they were attacked.
Oh, dude, I can't remember the name of the. There's like an ambulance anime. There's also the guy who did oh, weird. I think it's like Rujin Z. This looks like that a little bit to me. I love this animation style. It's so good. Yeah, I'm like very interested in this. Vengeance.
The night of the attack. What did you see?
Oh man. Yeah, it looks pretty good. That looks really good. Okay. All right, you've pilled me on you've definitely pilled me on checking this out. Ah. There we go. Looks like Junji Ito story. A little bit. Just a little bit. Although the so I was watching the recent Junji Ito series. That's one of those guys where I'm not sure I like how his style translates to like a medium of like moving pictures. I don't really like that so much. I mean, just some styles are like that though. They just look better on the page than they do animated. I have that with Chainsaw Man really hard. I love the way Chainsaw Man looks on the page. I mean, they do some interesting things animation wise, but like for the most part, I think Chainsaw Man like looks better as a manga than it does as an anime. But that's just me. Everyone likes my dress up darling for cultural reasons. Hey man. Hey bro. Gotta stay cultured. You gotta stay cultured. It's just for research purposes. That's why we're all watching my dress up darling. It's for research purposes. Also the animation's like gorgeous, like needlessly gorgeous, and it's paced really well too. It's like, I mean, I like a lot of like romance manga, but like, and well, anime as well, but like, I don't think I've fallen in love with a romance manga or anime like so hard since Horimiya. Horimiya's beautiful. The anime's pretty good, but like they leave out a lot of stuff. I don't know why, but like maybe for time reasons, or maybe they had to they had to fill that like 12 episode thing, but I like Horimiya. I think the manga's a little better than the anime. No shame in reading shoujo manga. Manga for girls can be dramatic and intense with themes of suicide, depression, and self-harm. Based. That's why I love it. Well, it also, I realized this when I went back and reread some like old Spider-Man. Shoujo manga has a lot of roots in like classic, like Marvel comics and like classic like Bronze Age DC stuff. I'm not sure if like the people like working on that material necessarily like read classic Marvel DC comics, but like the storytelling philosophy is there. Like the same levels of drama is still there. Like the emphasis on like character dynamics and watching these characters kind of like push and pull emotionally. We're just not getting a lot of that in modern superhero comics. And like for me personally, shoujo's like really scratching that itch. So I've been like really kind of like fixated on a lot of shoujo manga, because it's kind of giving me what like Spider-Man's not giving me, you know. Like, okay, My Dress Up Darling, right? My Dress Up Darling is the best Spider-Man show we are never going to get, ever. We are never going to get a Spider-Man show like that ever again. Why? Because Spider-Man comics don't want to focus on like the emotional, like romantic, like soap opera that like Spider-Man comics used to focus on, you know. And I get it, like Spider-Man's a superhero, so the stories have to be centered around like superhero conflicts, but like I don't know, man. The big hook for me reading classic Spider-Man books is watching the dynamic of Peter overcoming some like emotional obstacle and trying to talk to Gwen Stacy, or trying to get Harry Osborn to see him as like not being like, you know, an egghead, or you know, talking to Flash Thompson and like finding more nuance in his character. That's the stuff that I really like about classic Spider-Man. Like when I read a bunch of Bronze Age Flash, there's a lot of stuff in there in that post Death of Iris West Allen material that deals with like, you know, Flash going up against like the Rainbow Rider and Mirror Master, and there's a villain in there called Sabretooth, who like I didn't know existed until recently. But like, yeah, dude, no, like a lot of that stuff's cool, but like it's filler in the background as far as I'm concerned. Like, what I was really invested in was the relationship between Barry and like his new girlfriend Fiona Webb, and how their relationship was kind of like unfolding and then falling apart after Fiona like has a freak out at him. Then like they get back together. Like that's the stuff that I think modern superheroes are missing. You know, this de-emphasis on romance is just kind of like, and when they do romance, they make it boring. You know, like all the stuff with John Kent and his boyfriend is just so dreadfully dull. Like, I'm down to see like, hey, you want to make like a Superman yaoi? All right, go for it, DC Comics. But you make it make me care. Make me care. If you can't make me care about this relationship, then I'm not gonna care about the book. Frankly, that's, you know, like same thing with the Riley Rossimo Robin book. Like, I don't care about Tim and his stupid side character boyfriend from like the 90s. I don't care about their relationship because there's no drama there. I get that like maybe they're trying to do like a representation thing where it's like, no, we can't show these relationships as being toxic or troubled, but it's like, if I wanted to see like a real world relationship like unfold, kind of like in a calm, sophisticated, like everyone has, like, they put on their grown-up hats and they talk to each other like grown-ups, and they try to get to the bottom of situations like grown. I would just like not read comics and just kind of talk to my girlfriend about stuff we're doing. Or I would ask my friends who are in stable relationships, like, how they're doing. That's what I'd do if I wanted to like to like care about that shit. But I don't. I want to read comic books to like see drama. Give me. There's no drama in a lot of these modern comics. There's no drama in like a lot of the relationship dynamics. They're just boring. They're boring. That's the big problem, I feel. And that's where I think shoujo manga's like really kind of like doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of keeping, I mean, my interest at least. So yeah, man, I don't know. It's weird times we're living in, very weird times. Quick aside though, I just want to throw this out there. Spider-Man comics. I know I joke about this all the time on every stream, but Spider-Man comics just used to be just like down bad and just problematic as hell. And I realized that a lot of the Spider-Man comics we're getting now are just kind of safe in comparison. Like they're just kind of. I mean, I think Chris Claremont put it best. Marvel Comics right now is the equivalent of DC Comics in like the 60s to the 70s. Just boring, safe, like, bleh. That's what Spider-Man comics feel like to me right now. There's no grit to it. There's nothing like inherently problematic where like you could totally see someone in like 20 years going like, that's bad. Betty Brant's like a 25-year-old woman who's pining after a 15-year-old. That's pretty bad. But it made for some great drama though. The whole thing with who's that chick who like ambushed Peter. This is like after Peter asked MJ to marry him and she just like no, goodbye. She's like a blonde chick though, and she just aggressively starts going after Peter, and then Peter finds out that she's in like an open relationship with this other guy at Peter's college, and the dude is like, "Hey Parker, my girl, she really wants you, but she's only doing it to get to me. Don't fuck my girl, but don't do it." Like, just like the most maddening situation you can ever be in. It's interesting to read. It's fun to read. Spider-Man comics don't do that anymore because they're trying to dot their I's and cross their T's and make sure that the IP is maintaining and being like good for all ages, but I don't care about that shit. Make Spider-Man comics problematic again. It's all just hashtag make Spider-Man problematic again. I'm here for it. Please do it. Thank you. Tevi says Across the Spider-Verse. I'm excited mostly because I can finally get baby Mayday Parker, Spider-Girl in an animated movie. Yeah, dude, I'm excited for that. Across the Spider-Verse looks like it's gonna be like hitting a lot of it's gonna be hitting like a lot of nails that people just feel like haven't been hit in a while. I'm really excited for the potential like apparent love triangle between Miles and Gwen and Hobie Brown. I'm excited for that. It was so funny. Like I just saw like a bunch of people on Twitter freaking out, going like, "Oh my God, why are Peter and not Peter? Why are Miles and Gwen Stacy and Spider-Punk? They're all gonna be in like a love triangle. Why are we doing this?" It's like, it's Spider-Man. Let me get this straight. You're angry that Spider-Man the quintessential romance superhero character is going to have a movie that is being billed as a love story. What? Make it make sense. That's like someone getting mad that like Superman's gonna like be in a movie and he flies and wears a red cape. How dare you? Like it's fucking. What do you want? What do you want? It's like when people freaked out about Man of Steel. It's like Superman fought General Zod in the city and a lot of buildings got blown up. It's like, it's Superman. What do you... The fuck are you mad about? I don't know. It's stupid. But like, yeah, no, I'm excited for it. It is one of those funny things though, where I feel like Gwen Stacy, as time goes on, is developing like the Wally West. I don't want to call it a problem because I don't think it's a problem, but it is like a funny little thing where I'm not sure if people are doing it intentionally or if it's just a happy accident. But you notice how Wally West always goes after Asian women, and just like, across media, always falls in love with like Asian women. In the comics, it's Linda Park, gets married to Linda, have 2 kids. In Young Justice, he ends up getting with Artemis, who in that universe is half Vietnamese. They never really gave Wally a love interest in the Justice League TV series, but it's just one of those things where like in the Spider-Verse movie, right? They're gonna push a whole thing where like Gwen is into Miles, but she also might be kind of into Spider-Punk. Who's Hobie Brown, who's a black guy, and Miles is also Gwen's also into like some other dude like in like high school. They retcon that in like the 616 universe. Gwen was like she dated a black guy in high school. So it's like Marvel. I'm not saying you're doing a thing, but it. Are you doing a thing? I'm not mad if you're doing a thing, but just are you doing a thing? Are you doing a thing? It's just something like when you notice it, you can't unnotice it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Peter Parker's invited to the cookout. That's it. That's all I gotta say on that. Arca says, I couldn't get into My Hero Academia. Damn. Just like with Attack on Titan, I thought it's going to be smart, but it's about screaming and crying through everything again. I mean, well, that's what I like about Attack on Titan. It's nothing but pure suffering, and I love it. Hey man, I think I've let this be very well known at this point. I'm broken, and I revel in the dark. I absolutely revel in the dark. I love it. So the darker and more fucked up, the better. Arca says, idea. Modica Magica, but it's about the Shazam family. Foster kids were giving a chance to become heroes for the price of eternal torment. have you checked out Superior by Mark Miller and Lionel Yu? That book is kind of scratching a similar like idea post just a little bit. Very interesting. But yeah, no, that's a very fascinating idea. You know what I think would be pretty cool to do with Shazam? What if we have Billy Batson grow up? I would be very fascinated to see what Billy Batson does when he's in college. Because I'm tired of seeing him as a little kid still. Like, is he stunted or something? Like, let him. I think it'd be cool to see Billy Batson go to college and, you know, I mean, you don't necessarily have to do a whole Miracle Man thing with him. Like, you don't have to take it that far. But I do think it would be pretty interesting to see an older Billy Batson, you know. And maybe a smaller Shazam family, maybe, possibly, just throwing it out there. You know, the giant Shazam family that we saw in the New 52, it's cute. Darla's adorable. Pedro and the other one are like also there. But like, if we could just go back to like we could just go back to just Billy and Freddie and Mary. That'd be great. That'd be great. I always maintained that the Clone Saga could have worked if Marvel kept it with the original plan of Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Mary Jane having a daughter. Well, that'd be cool. But like, I don't know. It's just we can't go back now. It just can't. It's over. It's done. They done fucked it up. The best thing they can do is just pick up the pieces and move on. Which they refuse to do. They keep trying to fix it, and it's like don't try to fix it. Just let it breathe, B. Let it breathe. Hands off and just keep it trucking. Just keep it trucking. Just like, do I have an all-time favorite anime? Yes, I do. It is Neon Genesis Evangelion. But I mean, there are others that I really like too. I really like Vampire Hunter D. I really like Akira. You know, although after reading the manga in its entirety, I don't think less of the anime, but like compared to the manga, I don't know. There's a war going on in my head about it, but yeah, it's not even that late. Oh no, I woke up at like 7 this morning. That's why I'm kind of tired. But like, I don't know. Definitely Neon Genesis Evangelion. And definitely Akira. I also really like Blue Exorcist. You know, I really like Blue Exorcist. But that's just because I really like that manga. That's like one of the first manga that I like actively like kept up with. Oh, and Ghost of the Shell, of course. Yeah, I love Standalone Complex. I love the Ghost in the Shell movie, but like Standalone Complex is just and Trigun. I love Trigun. I love the original Trigun. So those are like some of my favorite anime. I would also put Psycho-Pass up there too. I really like Psycho-Pass. Be anime recommendations: Rojin Z, Wicked City, Memories, Neo Tokyo, Riding Bean, and Gunsmith Cats. So let's see. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I have watched 1, 2, 3, and 4. The other ones I haven't seen on this list are Gunsmith Cats and Neo Tokyo. The others I've seen. I think they're great. Rojin Z is fantastic. A lot of my anime that I've watched over the years definitely came in the form of looking at those like lo-fi edits and going like, that 2D girl cute. I'll dedicate hours of my life to watching an entire anime just because I thought this one edit was adorable or worthy of research purposes. Hey man, I ain't got no shame. Arcus, not safe for work idea. How Clark experienced his good time with Lois, even though he can't feel anything when he gets a building thrown at him. Well, he does. It's just so. I've always had a whole thing with Superman where I have a headcanon for how Kryptonian physiology works, even though it doesn't matter. But like, I still think about it because I think it's interesting. I've always liked the idea that like Kryptonians have a more complex nervous system than humans. So Superman feels things more acutely than humans do. So I mean, Clark does feel it. He does feel it. But it's different. It is very different. And he's also like trying to hold back a little bit, but like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, have there been comics that go into detail about that, or is it just one of those things where it's like no one wants to really like address it, so they just don't? Supreme Omega says, you know, you once said more characters should stay dead. I will say Superman. Okay. Hot take. I know Death of Superman gave us Con-El and Steel, but it also truly broke the concept of death. It did. It really did. See, I don't know where I stand on that, because I like the idea behind Superman's like return. But like, I don't know, man. I also feel like if you're gonna kill off Superman, it like having him just die in like a generic monster battle is lame. I think if you're gonna have like an authentic death of Superman, the way you kill Superman is with like All-Star Superman, like that. Like if you printed All-Star Superman in like 1994 or whatever, or is it 92? If you printed Death of Superman in like the 90s, right, and that story was All-Star Superman with some like, you know, things that are different here and there, like for example, like Clark and Lois would be married, obviously, and all that, but like, yeah, no, if All-Star Superman was the death of Superman in like the 90s, I think you keep Superman dead after that. I think that's where you keep Superman dead. But like with the story that we got, I don't think I'd necessarily be happy with Superman staying dead if that was the case. Um, it's kind of a lame death for Superman. But no, I definitely feel you. You know a cheat around that too? If you killed off that Superman, you bring back like a time displaced version of the character too. So like the Superman of that universe is still dead, but like you have a new Superman running around who is essentially the same character, but like it's different. That's also like a neat little fix for that. But I get why they probably weren't mining the multiverse well that hard yet back then. So that says Fire Force is also pretty good. I tried to watch Fire Force. Maybe it was just like a I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it. I thought the animation was great, but I wasn't really into the story at the time. But I don't know. Maybe I'll feel differently if I go back and rewatch it. There's definitely anime that I've had that with before. Like I didn't like Dragon Ball Z for like the longest time. I did not like Dragon Ball Z. I didn't get the appeal of Dragon Ball Z. But I went back and like started like well, really, what did it for me was playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This is what got me interested in Dragon Ball Z, and I mean I like it now, but I just didn't like it when it was coming out, or I guess when it was popular as a kid. I thought it was boring. I've also been told that Dragon Ball Z just reads better as a manga. Like it's one of those things where like I know it sounds weird, but like and this is me quoting the guy, but he was like, I know it sounds weird to say that because like it's moving, it's an anime, it's high action, like high octane entertainment, blah blah blah, but like it reads better because there's not a lot of filler. So maybe that's what like killed Dragon Ball for me as a kid, but like yeah, I know it just depends on like the mood that people are in to like watch stuff or read stuff. Supreme says, on Grant Morrison, have you read his earlier Batman work like Arkham Asylum and Gothic? I have read Gothic. I really like Gothic. And for the life of me, I don't know why Batman Gothic was not collected in the Batman by Grant Morrison like collections, because I really think Gothic matches up with a lot of the stuff that Grant Morrison's doing with the Black Glove and Barbados, like thematically. Like I mean, so Thomas Wayne, I guess not the first because he's like an immortal version of like Bruce's ancestor, but like Dr. Hurt. I'll just say Dr. Hurt, but like the whole thing with like Dr. Hurt, I really feel like if Grant Morrison wasn't roping in like the larger DC universe with like Darkseid and all that, he would have just been the devil from Batman Gothic. But like I think thematically it still kind of like is close enough to where it's just weird that wasn't collected. I don't know. But I really like Gothic. I do not like A Serious House on a Serious Earth. That's I guess my my like beanie hot take. I get what it's going for. I get why Dave McKean was on the book, and I it's a dream. I get it. It's one of the things where I get it. I just don't like it. Like every time I try to read it, I'm so like, oh my god, I don't care. It's like, oh my god, I don't. And I just put it down. I'm not a fan of A Serious House on a Serious Earth. I'm sorry. Argus says, answer. Lois has a set of... Oh, God. Arcus, you're insane. I love you, but you're insane. A series of piercings with synthetic kryptonite jewelry. So where are these piercings? Arcus, tell us. Tell us where these Lois Lane piercings are. These kryptonite piercings. Go on. Go on. Tell the class. Go for it. Make us a diagram. Personally, for me, an idea that I would have is that the imposter John Kent that we know is a fake, and the real Superboy is still 10 years old. I mean, that's like one thing they could do. That's probably where they're going too. Like I've seen enough rumors, and like the current Superboy, or I guess Superman, John Kent book is leaning in that direction. So like, it's probably what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do with the twins though. If that's the case. But I don't know. Arcus says, my favorite anime is about a love story in the setting of an alternative World War II. It's not for everyone, but the romance is good because of how the characters develop through the story and struggles. I was gonna say Grave of the Fireflies, but no, they're like siblings. Okay, I've actually never watched Grave of the Fireflies. That was one that I was told would like definitely, without a doubt, fuck me up, so I just didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I couldn't do it. I know about how it ends, and that was enough for me to say I don't have to watch this, because I don't want to feel right now. I don't want to feel like that. Like, I like having feels in my anime and my manga, but like let me just take your heart and twist it and just bring it up to like your throat. Like those kind of feels. Don't no. I'm good. Like I'm the guy where like I watched The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and like my heart just aren't you in pain right now? It's like a bittersweet ending. It's a cutesy ending, but like don't you hurt? It's like, no, I just wanted to watch a show or a movie. I made that mistake when I watched Your Lie in April. Oh man, dude, watching Your Lie in April just made me go like, no, you're not gonna trick me anymore. You're not gonna trick me anymore. This is the best anime you should watch list. Nope. You can't get me like last time. Same with I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Like, nope. Also hurt. You can't hurt me anymore. I Hate Bernard. His name's Bernard. Yeah, dude, I forget. How did I forget his name? Yeah, Bernard sucks. It's just boring. There's nothing there. It's just, look at them. They're like cute and they kiss each other and like they lean on each other and it's they're boys. That's all it is. That's all it is. But there's no like, there's no drama to it. There's no incentive for me to like keep reading it. That's my big thing. That's just my whole thing with it. Supreme says, on 90s Connor Hawk Green Arrow series, reading through the letter columns is funny because fans keep wondering if Connor Hawk is gay or asexual. Hindsight is interesting. Well, wasn't Connor like a monk? Like, isn't Connor's whole thing just like celibacy? Like, he likes girls, but he took a vow. That's like my big problem with the current state of Connor Hawk, where he's like asexual. It's like, okay, so if he's asexual, right? What is the point of him like having a vow of like abstinence and like chastity? What's the point of that vow if he's not attracted to? Like, do the editors know what like a vow of celibacy is, or did I say that right? Vow of celibacy. Yeah. Do they know what that is? Sorry, it's fucking like after midnight, my brain's fried. But like, do they know what that is? Because I don't think they do. I don't think they understand that concept. It's it's pure, unadulterated, just ignoramus cringe. But how do you fix the main Spider-Man book? You stop caring about trying to fix the character, and you just tell stories with the character. That's how you fix Spider-Man. It worked for Daredevil. Oh, even then, like, Daredevil was never broken. I don't like Daredevil was in like one of those weird characters where like things will happen, and then like things I don't like. Okay. I love the Bendis run on Daredevil. I don't like how Brubaker. I don't like how the Bendis run ends, and Brubaker just kind of is left to pick up the pieces, and then Brubaker puts the pieces back together, but then breaks them again. But like he does it in like such a it's good storytelling. It's just good storytelling. Even though he's breaking these pieces, he's doing it in a way where it is. I believe that these things that are happening in these characters' lives are happening, and it works. It just works. And then Andy Diggle comes on board, and then he does just break it. And Andy Diggle did a terrible job with Daredevil. I thought the run itself was like mediocre at best, but like Shadowland was an abomination. But then after that, you get like Mark Waid, who comes with the book, does the thing I don't like with it. Like I don't love Mark Waid's run on Daredevil, but like from what I've read of it, it's the story is solid, you know. And then Charles Soule does his run. It's still not quite my thing, but like still good. And then we get like Chip Zdarsky. And even then, Zdarsky does some things here and there that I'm like, I don't like where this is going, but like, it's still good. It's just good storytelling. So I don't know, just focus on good storytelling, focus on the characters, and then I think you'll fix it. You know, that's it. Like okay, actually, better example. Superman, right? I think Superman post Bendis had like a real just that is an uphill battle. How do you get Superman fans reinvested in the character? Well, you get Philip Kennedy Johnson, who comes in the book and just says, what if Superman did Superman things? What if we just get Superman doing Superman things? I'm down. And then, like, yeah, you fix the book. You get me to care about the character again, and then you do your retcons in a way that, like, still mesh with, like, story. And I think you're good. Donald Trump makes Spider-Man problematic again. I mean, that's me. That's me in a nutshell. Make Spider-Man problematic again. I'll take it. I'll take the President Dumpy comparison if we're framing it in like a Spider-Man, in like a Spider-Man sense. Yeah. I love Wally and Linda. Hey man, I love Wally and Linda too. I really hope the DC editorial doesn't fuck that up with the new run. I hope they learned their lesson with that after hiring Bendis on Superman. I really hope they learned their lesson, because if they didn't, oh man, oh my god, whew, just like they're in for it. Like, they're really in for it. Supreme says, reading through Bronze Age and late 80s and 90s post-crisis stuff, Batman used to feel more human. This was before prep time and contingency plans dominated the character. Do you agree? Absolutely. I really like when Bruce Wayne feels like a person. I was watching a live stream, actually just before this live stream. It's the Geekvolution, Captain Logan show. Captain Logan was talking about Batman, and he was talking about how, like, I think they were talking about, like, the voices of Batman, and they were, like, giving their critique about, like, Kevin Conroy's voice versus, like, other people who voiced the character. And Captain Logan said something that I just vehemently disagreed with. And it's that Batman is a character who doesn't talk a lot, or isn't supposed to talk. And I get where he's coming from with that. I just don't agree. I like a Batman who is more Sherlock Holmes than he is, like, dark, brooding, like, hockey pads. I'm doing this for vengeance purposes. Like, I think that kind of Batman works when he's, like, early in his career, but, like, by the time you have Batman hanging out with Robin and, like, a Batman who's, like, firmly established as, like a founding member of the Justice League and all that, that's a Batman who, like, wears a bright blue and gray outfit and, like, talks to, like, the GCPD while they're working crime scenes together. Like, that's when you get a talkative Batman. Like, the Alan Grant Batman from the 90s, like, that's a Batman who, like, just, like, Gordon, or, like, the Gordon and, like, a DA will open the door, and you just have Batman sitting with his legs crossed in the chair, going like, all right, Jim, I've been sitting here for the past couple of minutes, we need to analyze this data. Batman's a talky guy. Not, like, too talky. He's not like Spider-Man talky, but, like, he says what he has to say. He says what's on his mind if he feels like it's going to, like, help someone or get the job done. And he's not shy when it comes to explaining himself or how he got to the root of a problem. It's Batman's a talky guy, or just Batman, he talks to people. He maybe doesn't, like, joke around a lot, but, like, I don't know. I think the version of Batman that a lot of people kind of, like, have in their minds in pop culture is, like, Dark Knight Returns Batman, and all the versions of Batman that we've seen in pop culture and, like, comics that have been largely influenced by Dark Knight Returns Batman. But, like, the thing with Dark Knight Returns is that, like, that version of the character is he's so much a cautionary tale for the character. Like, maybe that's not the right way of putting that, but, like, he's so much, this is not what Batman is supposed to be. Just like Superman in that universe this is not what Superman's supposed to be. Green Lantern is not supposed to be, like, this recluse that just fucks off and leaves humanity behind. Diana's not an isolationist. You know, like the DC heroes aren't. They don't just like cave to pressure and then just like abandon humanity. Like that's Dark Knight Returns is very much a dark future that's not supposed to happen. Like, I don't know, modeling your version on Batman off that, I think you're missing the point of. It isn't me talking to the creators. I think you're missing the point of the character there. If that's like your frame of reference for what Batman is and should be. But unfortunately, that's what a lot of guys like Chuck Dixon did. Like I love Chuck Dixon as a writer. I think his I think Birds of Prey is really good. I love Chuck Dixon's take on the Bat family. But like when it comes to Chuck Dixon's Batman, oof, like the just straight Roblox. Oof, no, not a fan. I do not like the Dark Knight Returns-ification of Batman post Miller. You know what? Thanks. You just reminded me. I have a clip that I have on my queue list to make clips for, like, you know, the show. Let's Talk Comics. And I'm talking about exactly that. So I'm gonna clip that and like upload that after I upload my next video about the Flash. Supreme Omega says on Attack on Titan, that's too soft. Read Devilman, hardcore 70s shonen horror manga, inspired Berserk and Evangelion. I have read Devilman. I have. I don't have it with me right now. That is at my girlfriend's house, but I have read Devilman. I enjoyed it. That's another one of my favorite manga. Berserk. I love Berserk. That's one of those that I just didn't read for the longest time, but I watched the Golden Age trilogy, and now I'm reading all of Berserk. I'm definitely catching up because I love it now. Really good, like really good. Having Billy Batson marry Marvel, his biological sister, and Captain Marvel Jr., Freddie Freeman growing up would be freaking fantastic. I mean, I think it'd be interesting. Oh, good night, Tevya. Arcus says, Miles Morales and Spider-Punk arguing over who's Gwen's boyfriend. Then Norman Osborn enters the chat. Gwen's like, don't worry about him, guys. I'll never lose to the Goblin. Oh, man. Oh, I thought you were gonna like go like Sins Past with that one. But like if it's like Into the Spider-Verse Gwen Stacy, you have to have Giancarlo Esposito be Norman Osborn. You gotta get the black excellence up in there. Hey man, I'm not mad at it. The recent trend of having Gwen Stacy be a Snow Bunny is I'm here for it. I think I speak on behalf of the Brotherhood. I'm alright with that. We approve. Gwen Stacy is invited to the cookout. Gwen Stacy's invited to the cookout. Supreme Omega on early post-crisis. Have you read the George Perez run on Wonder Woman? I have, and it's. I get that at the time, it's like a big to do, and it was like a big deal. I think it's just one of the situations where like so much of a lot of the modern Wonder Woman that I've read and engaged with is pulling from Perez and like doing other things that like interest me a little more with the character, that like going back and reading Perez is kind of difficult for me. It's kind of like how I had a friend describe this to me. Actually, yeah, Jack Genocide uh, uh, talked about this with me a couple days ago. Um, he really likes a lot of comics that are inspired by the Ultimates. Like he knows that the Ultimates is a comic that existed. He knows what happened in the Ultimates and the Ultimate Universe and all that. But like he's read so many comics that are influenced by the Ultimates and would not exist without the Ultimates, that going back to the Ultimates is boring to him. I have that with Wonder Woman. I've read a lot of Wonder Woman comics that are influenced by Perez, like very clearly influenced by Perez. In comics where the creators have like said, you know, a major influence here is George Perez, and I get it. But just going back and reading, like actually reading Perez, it's like, oh, I've read the stuff you've inspired, but the thing itself just doesn't. It's not getting me. The art's beautiful though, but that's like saying, oh, this fucking beef Wellington that Chef Gordon Ramsay made is delicious. Like, no shit. Like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Arcus says about screaming and crying through every thing in anime. It was cool when Rock Lee did it, but he was an underdog. But Deku has powers of Superman, and he still cries every time. He's gotten over that in recent installments. Deku definitely grows up as time goes on. Arcus says a Supreme Omega thing is Superman should have died in the first place. I agree. That's the take there. That is the take there. There really shouldn't have been a death of Superman in the first place. Just throwing it out there. I will say, I say one thing for sure, that Superman should take from Goku. Superman should train and improve himself with his combat abilities, because his preaching would have had a lot more cred when he earned it. That's true. On Jean Grey, Phoenix jokes aside, there was no need to revive her. I will give Joe Quesada this. He did try to make her second death as permanent as possible. And they still fucked that up. That wasn't his fault though. So like my big thing with like the Hickman X-Men stuff, or I guess like X-Men in general, but like it really hits you when you consider the fact that a lot of characters who were dead, and I mean like characters who were like long dead, came back just before Hickman did House and Powers of X. And it's frustrating because Hickman's whole thing with House and Powers of X was, we're going to bring back everybody. Wouldn't it have been cooler if Wolverine came back to life under the House and Powers of X, like, Hickman era, as opposed to that, like, really crappy Return of Wolverine story? Wouldn't it have been cooler if instead of Jean Grey coming back... How did Jean Grey come back again? I forgot. It was some dumb bullshit. But, like, yeah, dude, after, like, it wouldn't have been cooler if Jean Grey came back, like, under the Hickman House of Powers bit. Like, just... I don't know, dude. It's just... A lot of characters... A lot of characters who died would have had like way cooler comebacks if they just if editorial just like said, hey, just hold on a second, Hickman's gonna do a thing, let Hickman do the thing, and I don't know. I. But then Hickman left X-Men, and now that's just all. I don't care. I do not care. Same goes with Jay Nakamura. Oh, not Connor's boyfriend. No, that's Tim Drake. But John Kent's boyfriend, yeah, he's just boring. On Anna Senti's Daredevil, she should be given credit as an important contributor to the Daredevil mythos. More of her run should be collected. Yeah, man, I'm really liking the fact that Marvel is doing those epic collections. I really want to check out the Anna Senti run because I think that's all collected in trade now. So I'm definitely gonna try to get all that. Sevi says, yeah, Bendis ruined everything with the Superman family. I mean, he did, but like, I mean, I think Philip Johnson did a great job in like rehabbing Superman. And I like what I've read of Joshua Williamson's run on the book so far. It's just one issue in, but like, I'm hooked. I am hooked. So Superman's gotten better. Like, Bendis was at most a speed bump at this point. But I think the character's fine. Like between Philip Kennedy Johnson on Action Comics, Joshua Williamson on the main Superman title, and Superman Lost by Christopher Priest, the character's bounced back completely now, I think. Arcus says, idea. Since Mercy always gets rebooted, why not have all the Mercies? Regular car driver Mercy, Black Amazon, Hope, and Cyborg Mercy, but named Faith, and make them evil Charlie's Angels, but Lex. Dude, that's great. That's hilarious. I love that idea. Oh man, that's funny. Are they still sticking with the New 52 version of Mercy? Yeah, they are, because she shows up in the first issue of Joshua Williamson's run on Superman, and that's New 52 Mercy. So yeah. It kind of sucks that Mercy didn't really take off the same way that Harley Quinn took off. I think a large part of that is because Superman hasn't had like a lot of major pop culture success, or at the release hasn't had the same level of like pop culture success that like Batman had released in general. Yeah, no. Mercy's really fun. I like Mercy. Supremo Mate. You know what? Big missed opportunity here with the movies. They didn't play Lamborghini Mercy when Mercy shows up on screen in BVS. That should have been her theme song, but nope. Instead, they just kill her off alongside Wheelchair Wally and Senator. Why do they name her Finch? I mean, I get that's like a real name that people have, but like I'm not gonna get into this too hard, but like it's just a mason jar of piss, and Mercy's gone. Nice. Great job there. Supreme says, on more human Batman, for example, in Nightfall, it's refreshing to see Bruce so tired and beaten and emotionally vulnerable with the death of Jason still haunting him. If you're really into like the vibe of like a more human Batman, I cannot recommend Chip Zdarsky's run on the character enough. That's a Batman where like he's very clearly like a heightened Batman, like he's fighting robots on the moon and shit like that. But like at the end of the day, he's still a person. You know, like I really like that bit in, I think it's like Batman issue like 131, where Bruce is trying to infiltrate this big 1% party, and my nose. My nose bleeding? No, my nose isn't bleeding. Just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, no, if you're like really into like a more human Batman, I highly recommend the Chip Zdarsky stuff. Chip Zdarsky is a Batman that like he gets tired. You know, like he'll get to his limits and like he'll try to keep going, and he'll tell himself he's gonna keep going because he's Batman, but then he just his body gives out because he's a person. I mean, this whole run hinges on the fact that like Batman made like a master plan, and it all like just went tits up and blew up in his face. Like, I really like the current Chip Zdarsky Batman. I think it's the most human I think we've seen the character in a while. Beanie, your brother's get yourself a Snow White cutie Quinn. But what we got? The new April in the Ninja Turtles cartoon. I mean, y'all had yeah, you had April in Rise of the Ninja Turtles, or maybe I don't know how old was April in that. No, she was a college student. Yeah, y'all had April in the Rise of the Ninja Turtles. It's kind of cute there. You have Storm always. It's a constant. Look, y'all got MJ. Like Zendaya played MJ. I mean, they didn't make her MJ, but like it's Zendaya still Zendaya. Come on. Don't. Y'all got the queen to play the queen. So don't act like you're starving now. On Chuck Dixon, he actually writes Batman well in the Robin book, especially in the later issues of the 100 issue run, where Bruce declares to train Steph and introduce her to Cass. Huh. Okay. I still haven't read the Robin book, so like I don't know. But I'll take your word for it. I'll keep that in my mind when I'm reading it. Arcus says, thing is, Superman's success was in the 50s and 70s where he was a joke, while Batman's success was in the 80s to the 2000s where he had depth. That is true. That's true. I'm gonna pin that. That's getting pinned right there. Shit, that is so true. That's so true. It hurts. Ow. But I don't know. I mean, I really hope we're gonna see like a renaissance of Superman. I mean, I know I kind of like declared my my desire to see the death of superheroes in pop culture. But I really hope Superman has like a solid renaissance before that happens. I'm really hoping we get that animated Superman show, My Adventures of Superman, and like if it turns out half as good as what it looks like it could be, like they have like the same animation team as like the DreamWorks Voltron, or at the very least they're running off of a very similar art style and like character philosophy. Um, I'm really hoping that the James Gunn Superman movie is pretty good. The current Superman comics have been great. Superman in gaming has had a lot of hiccups. Most notably with the recent Superman game that got canceled by Rocksteady. At this point, that's just what I'm going to run with. That Suicide Squad game was supposed to be a Superman game, and last minute it got turned into a Suicide Squad game. It makes so much sense. It makes so like, if you're going to make a Suicide Squad game, why on God's earth would you make it an open world like looter shooter experience amidst Brainiac's invasion of the Earth? Why would you do that if you weren't already building a Superman game that got turned into something else? I don't know why you build a Suicide Squad game from the ground up like that, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. There are rumblings that there might be a Superman game coming in the near future from Warner Brothers Montreal. So hopefully, that comes out. Dude, it's so easy to make a Superman game. Like, it really is. Like, if you people keep saying that's impossible. Like, bro, Saints Row 4 exists. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This is a Superman game, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what DC's waiting for. I don't like Zendaya in the MCU. They made her unattractive. Sorry. I mean, man, please get whatever you're smoking. Because even when she was looking bad, she still looked pretty good to me. Like, even when she looked bad, she still looked pretty bad. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I just think Zendaya looks great. Have Megan Thee Stallion as the new Lois Lane, and we even. Oh man, you know who would have been a great Lois Lane? I'm sure she wouldn't do it now, but you know who would have been an amazing Lois Lane? Zoe Saldana. Zoe Saldana would have crushed it as Lois Lane. I think she would have been great in that role. And if we're still if we're like casting like just black Lois Lanes in general, shit. Oh man, her name's escaping me. Oh man. But she was in that really crappy show, but she was like I thought the highlight of it at the time. It's based off the Bendis comic Powers. Dude, what's that actress name? Logan Browning. I think Logan Browning would make a pretty good Lois Lane. I think she would. But Supreme Omega says, on Hush, you once said 20 years ago Batman wasn't this overexposed cash cow. I wonder what you mean by that. Well, DC didn't have all their eggs in the Batman basket back then. Like, they still cared about their other characters in their larger universe. Like, there was a lot of Batman back then, but like there was a lot of everything back then. Like, you had like a million Batman titles, but you also had a million like Superman books and minis that were coming out. You had like Black Canary book. Like, Black Canary had a book back then. Huntress had a book. You know? Blue Beetle and Booster Gold were like main characters. They felt like main characters with a heavy presence in the DC universe at one point in time. Like, I don't know, like whereas DC now just kind of feels like Marvel in the 90s, but just replace the X-Men with Batman. That's that's what I feel like DC's kind of doing right now. Yeah, no, I see that kind of changing now. I see that there's a shift coming, and I do think maybe down the line we could be seeing a more eclectic DC universe, like it used to be in like the 90s and 2000s. But yeah, that's what I'm like kind of like hopeful for, as far as DC Comics are concerned. Retro fan casting, Catherine Zeta-Jones would have made an amazing Lois Lane in the early 2000s. Catherine Zeta-Jones as Lois Lane and Brendan Fraser as Superman. That movie would have rocked hard. Oh man, we're never gonna get that because we can't live in the universe where things are great. We live in this universe. But Zoe was hot in Star Trek movies. Didn't like her in the Gamora makeup. Something about the rubber cheeks. Them cheeks ain't rubber, bruh. Why do I say these things? Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. That's my cue to say goodnight. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Sorry I was a day late. Yeah, next week I should be doing my regular due on Wednesdays. So thanks for coming by, and I will see you guys later. Good night.